Hello, we are live. We are live.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I'm bringing you that Inner Voice podcast live today, and my name is Jennifer Mackenzie, the Conscious Living Coach. Today, I'm joined by Roy Castleman, and we are going to be talking about Wim Hof. We're going to be talking about breath work, cold therapy, energy healing, and how these modalities can really help you overcome pain, anxiety, fatigue, and really improve your health and well-being on a big scale. So, Roy, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not doing too badly at all.
Good.
Happy, healthy, and strong.
That's what I like to hear. Happy, healthy, strong. So could you explain then to people, right? We see Wim Hofs everywhere at the minute. Like
Yep.
he's been around for quite a while, but he recently did a TV program, didn't he? Which kind of exploded him a little bit more into mainstream,
Yep.
and got more viewers, etc. And he's known as the Iceman, isn't he? So
He certainly is. Yeah.
yeah, I've followed him for quite a while. I love him, his strength, his character, and like his backstory as well. Um, and you are a trained Wim Hof instructor, aren't you?
I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just tell people about that. How was that experience?
That was an insane experience. It was really, really good fun. Yeah. Also really challenging, and I think yeah, everyone in the world needs to know about Wim and what he's doing and what his message is. And that is his message. Is by doing these things that he's worked out in his method, we can all be happy, healthy, and strong. You know, with a lot less of the normal medications and things that are out there, and you're just doing it with what your body is naturally born with.
Mhm. So, for anybody who is watching, please can you give StreamYard permission so we can see your names in the comments and we can answer any of your questions as we go through the podcast. So, do get involved. As it's live, get involved, and we're here to answer any questions. So, did you actually go over to Iceland to do your
No, no, I went to Poland to go do
Poland?
to do because Wim's got a place in Poland, and then he's got a hotel that he uses all the time out there. And I don't know if anyone has seen the Vice documentaries and stuff. So he's got a waterfall where you jump into, and it's very cold. It's very cold in February. Very chilly in the mountains. So yeah, but before that was a 6 months worth of course beforehand, video course, and then a 5 day session out training.
Hmm.
Really good. Yeah.
So, how has the Wim Hof method changed your life?
Well, I'm a businessman and have been for 20 odd years in the city. And that comes with all the standard stresses and things that working in the city of London, during 2008 when there was a big crash, 2000 over the 2000 period, all of that stress, all of those long hours, all of those things that are the de facto of how to get sick, if you don't deal with them. And I've always had this thought that something's gonna catch me, something's gonna like as a cancer or something's gonna get me because I've had a good life for a long time and a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, a lot of all these things.
Sorry, could
Uh,
you just move your mic? It's really the sound is really
okay, funny,
not
is that
very
better?
good. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll try that, shall
Oh yeah, that's
we? Yeah,
better. Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so further away. So I went through a period during lockdown where I was quite static. I wasn't moving nearly as much as I was before, and I had an older injury from 2015 where I did do indoor skydiving. I flew into a wall in a tunnel, and I dislocated my AC joint. So by the end of 2020, I got to a point where I hadn't actually I couldn't actually use my arm anymore. So
Mm,
my right arm, which was kind of critical to doing work,
yeah.
I couldn't use my right arm anymore. So I
Mm,
went on a hunt for all sorts of things that could help me shorten the recovery period after this operation. So I
mm,
had to have an operation, had to have a tendon replaced, and with that tendon replacement, there's a 4.5 month recovery window. And I'm a bit Yeah, I don't want to wait 4.5 months for recovery. Yeah, I'm not the most patient person in the world. So I thought, what's the best way that I can recover faster? Read lots of books, did all sorts of things, and Wim Hof came up time and time again. So I thought, okay, fine, I'll do that. And started the Wim Hof. I actually hadn't heard about Wim Hof before last year. Yeah, so the first time I heard of him was the beginning of January 2021. Started doing the fundamentals course, which is an online course, 10-week course that he has on there straight away. I read his 2 books, did the fundamentals course, and went straight into it. And the difference was immediate. It was immediate. Suddenly felt stronger. Suddenly felt my mental health was way better. And started being able to do running, and started being able to do all sorts of things that I hadn't done before. So yeah, we went through that process, and by the time I had my operation, which was the 17th of March, I was way stronger. I was actually thinking about not having the operation just because I was able to do a side plank on my arm.
Okay.
Yeah, and the day that I went into the operation, I did 15K run. I don't run. I'm a big guy. My ankles and my knees don't like it. But I did 15K run, 2.5 hours in the gym, 2 ice bath sessions. Woke up the next morning, no DOMs, no pain, no anything. Nice clear mind. Went into the operation. 7 weeks later, I was flying in the tunnel, and 8 weeks later, I was jumping. So a 4.5 month recovery became 2 months.
That's phenomenal. That's brilliant.
That just blew my mind. Yeah, really blew my mind. And I went into it for that physical exercise reason, and I stayed into it because of the mental health. Yeah, we all. I think one of the things we don't necessarily, especially if you're businessman, entrepreneur, you just ignore everything and you just ignore your own mental state. And you just hide in a little hole sometimes, and it takes you. I mean, I've been in some real dark places. I've been in some real holes, and it takes you quite a long time to actually learn to be able to accept that you do have mental health, and you do have problems, and you have to actually accept them and work with them. And this is the easiest way that I found to get on top of all sorts of issues. A couple of good breathing sessions, and straight away, I feel way better. Yeah, and the ice. The ice is nice. The ice is. You're going to go to an ice bath, aren't you, next week?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am. So the Wim Hof method then is targeted breathing practice and cold therapy.
Wim Hof Method is the 3 foundations or 3 pillars, as it were: commitment, cold exposure, and breathing techniques. Okay, and they really do work together, because if you don't have the commitment, if you don't, that's one of the things we do as humans, right? We know something's good for us,
Yeah.
and we don't do it. We just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to have that commitment. You need to know how this fits into your daily practice, and how this really can if you do it all the time, you feel better all the time. If you don't do it all the time, you fall off the wagon again. You feel poor.
Yeah. You know, I in 2016 I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and along with it's no secret that I've had and faced my own mental health struggles. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but they're all just labels. I struggled with my mental health, and then my body just shut down. I couldn't walk very well. I fell over a few times, like my knees just gave way.
Yeah.
I barely kind of went out the house, and it was horrible for my mental health, considering that I'm an extremely active person. And
Right.
I've horse rode all my life. I've been, always go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. And for me, for my physical health to go downhill like that, actually in pain.
It's scary, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's horrible
Yeah.
because the things, being active was part of my way to help my mental health anyway. And it's always made me feel like I'm very full of energy. Like there's a possibility that I have ADHD. That's what my doctors think. But again, I don't like getting into all these label things, it's just not really. I'm just
Yeah.
me. But I needed that. I needed that. I was constantly on the go, and I needed that outlet. But when I couldn't have that outlet, my mental health declined even more.
Yeah.
and I sunk into a deep depression and anxiety. And then, I started not going out. But I was put on lots of medication for the pain, for my mental health.
How
So,
did how did the medication make you feel?
right. So this is what I'll get to. The
Yeah.
medication made me feel worse. Like, my
Yeah.
feelings were numbed, and it made me like vegetated, basically. Mood stabilizers, opiate based mood stabilizers, and a medication called amitriptyline, which is like a nerve blocker, and it made me worse anyway. So I decided that I'd go down the holistic route, um of, that's what I do. That's,
Yeah.
part of that's what my mum taught me when I was younger. It's like, these medications are not for me. They served a purpose for a very short time, but they're not for me. Like,
Yeah.
and so cold therapy is one of the things that I use to bring myself back to health. So I ditched the medication, switched up my diet. I started to actually use my energy healing on a daily basis, meditation, breath work, cold therapy, and I slowly but surely brought myself back to health. And I've kind of made a full recovery from fibromyalgia, which is a massive thing. And I'm back to being active again. And
I
then,
think there's something like 8.5 to 10 million people, females, mainly females, that suffer from fibromyalgia in the UK.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
And there is, and
amazing how many. Yeah.
Mm. And there's someone said something the other day as well about like a link between undiagnosed ADHD and then females having getting diagnosed with fibromyalgia and ADHD later in life. And
Yeah.
it kind of all this stuff, so it really resonates with me. Um and yeah, it's like, because you're constantly in fight or flight,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're just like running on adrenaline, like searching like for this dopamine constantly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
So I mean, I think that's what there's two periods where within the breath work and within the cold exposure that I can only compare it to skydiving. Yeah, and yeah,
okay.
I've done maybe 2,500 skydives, and the reason I love that is that yeah, when you get out of the plane, okay, you have to be there in the moment.
Mm,
You can't be somewhere else. Yeah, you're
mm,
plummeting towards it. You're plummeting towards the Earth at anything up to 180 miles an hour. Okay, and if you're not there in the moment, yeah, there's something wrong with you.
mm,
Yeah, there's really kind of it's a real equalizer to say, right, yeah, and that turns your mind off. Okay, it turns your conscious mind off, and your
mm,
conscious mind then gives your subconscious mind just a little bit of relax. Okay,
mm,
and even that 2 minutes, or even that small amount of time, yeah, that's enough for you to do a lot of recovery. Now,
mhm,
when you do the breathing work, when you do the breath work, Wim Hof breath work is part of a much bigger breath work piece that I'm doing. But the Wim Hof breath work, yeah, it allows you to go in that in the way you're doing the breath hold, it's called retention. It allows you in that time to also achieve a very meditative state. Okay,
mhm,
the quickest way that you can get to a meditative state, a really quick meditative state, and really deeply, the same way as when you jump in an airplane. Yeah, I compare the two. And again, when you when you go into the cold exposure,
mm,
when you get into the ice, yeah, you yeah, your body is saying ah,
mhm,
yeah, help, fight or flight, yeah, all those sympathetic nervous system responses that kick in, yeah, and you have to be there. Yeah, you have to be present. You have to be focusing on the breathing. You have to be following the breathing and doing what you've trained yourself to do,
mm,
or you will get very cold and you can give yourself hypothermia and you can die.
mm,
Yeah, but if you follow the breathing, you do these things correctly, yeah, then you do get this real clarity. It's really amazing, and then the dopamine kicks in, and all the good juju kicks in, yeah, and you come out of it, the whole weight is lifted from your shoulder.
mhm,
Yeah, and that's what I want to bring to people. Those clarity moments, those mental kind of breaks that people have. Yeah,
mhm,
that's where we want to take it. Yeah,
mhm. It is phenomenal. In we, we can, we do all have the ability to heal our bodies and our minds, like without pills
yeah,
and like with natural ways. It's whether you know that or whether you don't, or like, this might be all new to you. You may not have realized this, but That's how I healed my mental and physical body, and the two are connected, and you can't do one without the other. You need the mindset to have the focus and the drive to help heal your body, and you need your body to help heal your mind. They come hand in hand, and you can't separate them, which is why, like, how I work with energy healing, mastering the mind, healing the body, with the embodying these practices into the coaching sessions, into the retreat days that I do. So we're teaming up, aren't we, to offer this like amazing reset retreat day. So think about the power of Wim Hof method, your knowledge and the other breathing techniques that you're doing as well. You've got the power of the breath work. You have got, both of us are mindset coaches, so you're going to have the double bubble of like motivation there, and us coaching you along the whole way. And you've got then my 20 years experience as an energy healer injected into that. So what the energy healing will do is help, what all of it will do really is help to clear subconscious and unconscious blockages, suppressed emotions that you have in your mind and in your bodies. We're aware of a lot of our traumas, but a lot of them also reside in our bodies, in our subconscious minds, that we're unaware of. You think, oh, I've dealt with all that. I've dealt with that big trauma. I've forgiven it. I've moved on. But there's a lot of other stuff that we carry in our bodies and our daily stresses.
Yeah, I mean, the one of the things that really kind of struck me when starting my breathwork journey was how powerful the breath is in terms of shifting emotions. And then when you break it down, when you actually take it down to the component parts, we are just a chemical engine. Okay? As humans, we're just this whole big wash of chemicals, and we put all these chemicals into our bodies. Okay, and then we create emotions, which are chemicals. Right? So when we're breathing at the moment, we sit and we breathe very shallow. We would generally all breathe through our mouths. We breathe to the top of our chest, and we breathe in a very shallow manner. And this then doesn't get the air to the bottom of our lungs. Okay, and that doesn't really charge us with oxygen. When you go through the Wim Hof breathing method, we end up going through this charging process. We charge the body up, and we push oxygen to all the places that oxygen doesn't normally get to. So you'll have tingling in your hands, you'll have tingling in your feet, and some people have some really cool reactions. And I say cool, more cool for them than for us as instructors sometimes, because they might be having cramps and things, and crying, and but this is just a release, of these kind of these emotions that were being caught in, wherever they were, they're really caught in, and by breathing properly and by pushing, we'll do some exercise first. Excuse me. We'll do some exercise first. We'll get the exercises, get the blood flowing, and then we'll go into the deep breathing session. And that'll just shift so much, so much of the energy. And that is a starting point, before applying your energy healing, and really, then everything's nice and moving again. So everything's kind of, you're shaking up the system, right? And then taking that forward and going into the ice. What happens in the ice is that we go in and we sit and our body, it decides, we can decide whether we can be in our best possible point of fitness. Okay, and we do this when we go into the ice. Our body says, okay, well, now you've put me into a stress, a fight or flight situation. You put me in the worst possible situation I can be. If I don't do something, I'm going to die. Okay, and your body will then take the endorphins, it'll take adrenaline, and it'll flush the whole system out and get you ready for anything. And getting you ready for anything is getting rid of all the rubbish that's in there, getting rid of all the bad emotions, getting rid of all the bad things that are in there, and just flushes it all out. And that's why when you go through and you come out of the other side of the ice bath, you actually just have this, a really, I mean, I've had people describe it as a really light feeling, really, that they really don't feel the heaviness there anymore, which is it's really great to be able to give people that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing next Thursday then a live ice bath. So you lot can see my face. So I do cold water swimming, wild swimming, and I have cold showers. So I would do my exercise, and then I would have cold showers to flush out, and then hot then cold, hot then cold. So do it at the gym, steam room, and then flush it out with the cold. amazing for detoxifying, amazing for an energy boost.
Yep.
If you're feeling tired and sluggish, go and get in a cold shower. Like, just do 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Cold shower a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, absolutely amazing for skin tone, like for hair, skin, like because it flushes out. Think of all the toxins just sitting in your body, and then what it does is the heat brings them to the surface, and then with the cold flushes them out. That's like part of my daily routine.
Yeah. So when we look at the cold exposure, we're looking at the vascular system. Yeah, we've got 100,000, 120,000 kilometers of veins and arteries that run around our systems. And one of the biggest killers out there is cardiovascular disease. And this is because we're all quite sedentary. We sit on the couch. We don't do a huge amount. We exercise a little bit, but not nearly as much as we have through evolution. And because we dress ourselves and we don't get into the cold, our bodies aren't working the way they're designed to work. When we go into the cold, your veins and arteries squeeze. So as you go into the cold water, your vein squeezes, okay, and it protects the rest of the system, from moving that blood around. So it just tries to keep the core nice and warm, and the extremities it squeezes. Okay, so it keeps the blood keeps the blood from moving there. As you get up to 10, or as you get down to 10 degrees centigrade, the veins open. Okay, so now we actually have that muscle effect that we can't create normally because we always have warm clothes on. Yeah, so and that's why the cold exposure works really well, is because you go in, stops, opens, and it allows you to control that. So really, really powerful from that point of view.
Yeah. So I'll be doing my first ice bath live on this internet.
Can't wait.
That's me all over. I'll just go for it, and then be an entertainment for you all as well. But just show you, I'm not going to get you guys watching, or that you come to me. I'm not going to get you to do something that I'm not prepared to do myself. And I live and breathe the methods that I teach. I live and breathe breath work, meditation, energy healing, and it's completely changed my life. Like, I don't have to rely on doctors, medications. I avoid them like the plague, to be honest, because it's not. If something's wrong with me, I'll try and sort it out holistically. And if I really have to go to the doctor, that's like last resort. But yeah, it's few and far between these days. But honestly, it changed my mind. It changed my mental health completely. The discipline, though, you can't just do these things once. Like, you can't just go, right, I've done an ice bath, that's it. And I've had a cold shower. I've had a Reiki treatment. I've had a couple of coaching sessions. You need to do these things consistently to make lasting change. And that's where I think a lot of people fall down, because they're not willing to have discipline.
Which is why one of the pillars is commitment. You have to believe that you're worth it enough that you can commit to be able to make these changes in your life. And they're not things that take a lot of time. You're talking there about cold showers, but at the end of your normal shower, just knock it down to cold. 30 seconds, a minute and a half. And then once every 6 days, once a week, just go into the ice bath then. A 60-pound ice bath from Amazon. A little bucket, and Lidl's going. We keep on running out of ice at the local Lidl because there's a few of us in Bedford now. And it's like, right, who's been in Lidl?
Yeah.
And then if you have to, sometimes you have to go up to Sainsbury's, and that starts getting more expensive, right?
Oh God, yeah. God forbid go to Waitrose.
Tesco's Express, yeah. But
buy an ice machine.
So now we have some lovely guys at the fishmongers who actually bring us they have these huge buckets of ice, so that they can come in and bring us 150 kilos of ice if we do a big day. There's so much to learn. I think one of the big things that struck me is I'm turning 50 this year, and I've been doing this now for 2 years. How the hell did I not grow up knowing this stuff? The breathwork stuff is so strong. We'll talk about some oxygen advantage on the day as well, which is another breathwork modality that I'm instructing in. And this is about breathing more through your nose, and not mouth breathing. And this is Wim Hof is really good for 45 minutes or an hour in the day. You can do it. It can take you 20 minutes in the morning. If I just have to do a very quick session, it'll take me 20 minutes in the morning. But if I am doing longer, up to 45, but the rest of the day is important as well. What do you do for the other 23 hours? And trying to work properly, trying to breathe properly as you go through the day, it makes all the difference. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think to really make these lasting changes, you need to like embody the practices. Like if you're serious about really overcoming anxiety, like autoimmune diseases, chronic pain, you have to have that commitment.
I think it's also very important. I mean, I've seen we had Freeze the Fear on the TV, and then everyone saw these celebrities doing their thing, and it was against how Wim normally does it. He's really a charismatic kind of guy, and he doesn't like structure too much. And so it's outside of his comfort zone, and everyone that's really embedded with Wim Hof was a little bit derogatory about it, but his whole point is he wants to take this to 2 billion people in the next 2 years. And the only way we do that is through the media. And a lot of people look at this, they try and do 2 or 3 days of the breathing. And they're like, well, why am I not in tears? And why am I not? You have to, like you say, you have to commit. You have to put a serious decision that you're going to do this correctly, and then go out and find someone to help you. Get an instructor, get a coach, get someone to help you through it. And even if that's just once a week for 3 or 4 weeks, that'll then allow you to know you're on the right path. Because the instructors will be able to give you small little things, breath work, even your energy work, small little things you can do. Because we're all different, right? Every single one of us is different. Every single one of us has an entirely different set of makeup. So we've got to try things slightly differently. Well, I might say to you, breathe deep in a certain way, and it just won't gel. And I say to you a different way, and now suddenly you feel it. But I'm sure you find that with your clients all the time as well. You have to try slightly different things.
Yeah, we do. We try different things, and it's like I incorporate all of these modalities into my coaching sessions. So, like some of it's talking, some of it's NLP, some of it's like kind of standard coaching stuff, mindset coaching. Then I start to then incorporate the energy healing and the breath work, and that's when you see like the real big changes, where they start to then shift and release those things that have been holding them back. And it's like, after like 6, so I do a minimum of 6 sessions. Minimum of 6.
I think that's a fair number because if you have 6 sessions, or if you have a range of sessions over a period of weeks, and you also use that people need 27 reoccurrences to make it a habit. And you really want to be able to put something in place to prove to yourself. I did a lot of work with CBD when that first came out, and you had to take it for a month. And the changes were sometimes small. They weren't necessarily big changes. So you take it for a while, and then it's only when you stop doing something you realize actually how much that was helping me. And this can be a bit like that. It can be. You breathe, and you when you first start out the breathing, it's amazing because you get all these tingling feelings, and you get a little bit of a drug experience in the head. It really blows your mind. It's so powerful. But after you've been doing it for a month or two, it's not the same. Because you've already cleared a lot of stuff. But if you don't carry on doing it, it takes you back. You go backwards, step by step. And then suddenly when you do it, you pick it up and right, that's why I was doing it.
I get that. Like, when I start to feel my head going, or I feel like in a bit of stiffness and pain, I'm just like, what am I doing? Actually, no, what am I not doing?
What am
I not doing? So I had this like last week. I was like, what am I not doing here? Right, I'm probably eating a bit too much sugar. I'm getting a bit stressed because I'm doing a little bit too much, spreading myself too thin. So it's like, all those things are important. It's like take a little step back and think, there's a reason why your body is there to tell you. Anxiety is there to tell you something's up. And it's like we're trying to push away these feelings so much and just ignore them, but they will come back and bite you in the arse if you just ignore them.
Yeah, no, you need to listen to your body. Yeah,
Understand your
100%.
mind, understand your body, and like, listen to those little whispers, because when you start to feel that tension and that like resistance in your body, it's time to pause, not stop, but pause, and like be like, okay, what is this? What is this trying to tell me? What is my body telling me? Because something's off and something's out of alignment.
Stop and listen. Try and understand your state. Yeah, understand. Yeah, what's bringing you there. Yeah, and don't ignore the needles. Huh? Don't ignore the needles. Yeah, do something with
because they shout. Ignore the whispers, and you'll definitely hear the shouting.
For sure.
Yeah. So just more then about our retreat day. So we are going to have a full-on day for you all. Starting with the Wim Hof fundamentals, the mindset coaching, and then we're going to do the breathing. Going to take you for some lunch. Well, you're going to have some lunch here. So we're going to do this at my studio in Wilstead. And you're going to have some lunch, light lunch, and then we're going to be doing some gravity yoga. And then you're going to be doing having some energy healing as well, and meditation, and then gearing you up for the ice bath.
Ice
baby.
Yeah, that's good fun.
We have a full-on day planned for you. And we will release the booking link. I'll put it in the comments of this video for you to book on. And so save the date, 2nd of July. And we are available to answer any of your questions. So pop them in the comments or send either myself or Roy a DM. And thank you for watching.
Happy to help. Happy to answer all your questions. It'd be great. Really looking forward to doing this. It's going to be awesome.
Anything Wim Hof related, please ask Roy, because I'm not that clued up. Although I've done his 10-day beginners kind of foundation course, but ask Roy about the Wim Hof stuff.
Sure. And if you're planning to come and join us on the day, start your cold showers, or even if you're not, start your cold showers now. All you need to do is go into your normal hot shower. And at the end of the hot shower, following your breath. It's important to follow your breath. Step out, turn the shower down, and put your arms in first. And then follow around and put your shoulder and your back in. And try and get that up. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. And try and get up. You'll find after a week or two, suddenly it's like, oh, don't even need the warm shower anymore. Especially in this lovely weather that's coming. Now that summer's here.
I am going to have a cold shower this afternoon.
I'm going to go to Lidl and get myself some ice. So I'm having an ice bath.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to my first proper ice bath next.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
No, I will.
It's one of those things that it's so many people look at it and they're like, oh, I don't want to do it. I promise you, I used to hate the cold. I'm from Africa. It's warm there. I only saw snow the first time I saw snow was when I was 13. Come over here, and now if anyone had said to you you'd be doing ice baths, nobody would believe me. With the ice baths, you build up something called adipose brown fat, and adipose brown fat has actually been proven to help you with all sorts of things, but also helps you look younger, like you're saying, your skin, your hair, all these kind of things. So you'll build up your adipose brown fat slowly but surely, and then you'll be wandering around outside, without jackets on, and things will be way more comfortable. Finding the warm in your cold friend.
Love it. Very excited.
Looking forward to dunking you.
Yes.
I'll bring the rubber ducks, right? So
oh yeah.
You have to have a rubber duck.
I have rubber ducks.
I have a whole range of rubber ducks. I've got a really big one. I'll bring them all. You can meet them.
Yeah. All right. Brilliant. All right. Thanks, Roy. And then
Alrighty.
I'll chat to you later. Right, guys. We will see you later. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, everyone.